It's summer. We're stretching out here on Barn Burner, and it's time for another long-form conversation with an absolute beauty. Reminder, Barn Burner, a presentation of Bet365. No matter the bet, it's never ordinary with Bet365. Today, we welcome in a Calgary legend, a man with the nickname, The Legend, per Wikipedia, a 5-year captain of the Calgary Roughnecks, a 13-year Roughneck, a guy growing the game in Alberta, and the assistant general manager of the Colorado Mammoth, Andrew McBride. Not to mention a pretty darn good fantasy football player in our league as well. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I've given Bet365 a lot of money here last football season, so that's a good shout out, Bet365. Love the platform. Great app. Unbelievable. Looking for the donation forward to football season again, but away we go.
Top yourself up before another Seahawks season.
You got to sneak that in under the wife. Like, you got to maneuver a little cash around and then get her dialed in. The live betting, that's what kills you.
I need you to look into the camera and say, please play responsibly.
Please play responsibly, everybody. Or lie to your significant other.
Please play responsibly.
Yeah, responsible.
Jeez.
Responsible. Number one.
365, killing us. Come on.
We love it.
Hey, how's summer been? How's life? You're a dad. You're a coach. You are your playing days are in the rearview mirror, but you're still very much in the fabric of the lacrosse community.
Yeah, it's been good. I think like so many things going on. Like sometimes I want a 9-to-5 job because we got Mammoth stuff here. My Raiders lacrosse team's going well. City champs for the U11 Fury, coaching my daughter.
Okay.
Trying to work on the golf game, not going so well. A few concerts at Stampede. Life's good though. I can't complain. Lots of balls in the air, but good balls.
I always loved having you on. I don't know how often we did it. I felt like it was probably once a month where at the old shop, I'd bring you in the 9 o'clock hour. We had time to stretch out a bit. And if we had nothing to talk about, it was the best chats because we could just BS and, have fun. And I'm not surprised you're a captain because it's a personality that's magnetic and people love being around you and you've got a great energy about you. Did you always know you were a leader? Is that like when I ask you about leadership, is that something you take seriously or is that just something that somebody has or doesn't have?
No, I think, I always had characteristics and traits that seemed to land me in a leadership role. I don't think I understood leadership till I was a little bit older and everything it entails, and coaching helps that as well. Like there's so many facets of leadership on the floor, off the floor, but it's really about relating to people. And I think, the older you get, you can see how you can impact people's lives in a variety of different ways. Yeah. And really it's like, what do we have in common? How can we talk about it? Yeah. And that's the key. And I've always been good at being able to, hang out with the people that were a little edgy, go to church with the people that are nice, like being able to find what the common ground is something I've always enjoyed. Like I like hearing about what people do. I might not know about it, but I ask lots of questions. I say lots of stupid stuff. I talk a lot. I talk really loud. So that seems to be kind of some key points to leadership and coaching.
I feel like there's a mirror in the middle of the studio, Jack. I'm like loud talker, super extroverted, loves meeting people. I feel seen, McBride. I do. One thing you were good at that I'm not is sports, though. You grew up in Ladner, which would have been interesting. It's in Vancouver, but it probably feels like a small town in Vancouver. Is that fair?
Super small town. Yeah. We grew up one high school, like 4 elementary schools. We knew everyone. The big thing was we had a McDonald's. That was a big, I spent a lot of money at the old drive-through at McDonald's.
They don't need a shout out.
They're doing fine. But it was, it was great looking back, growing up in a small town, knowing everybody, knowing everybody's parents. You're playing the same sports together. Really a big community feel and something that I've always drawn myself back to about being that you can't replicate it in a big town. You move to Calgary and there's 20 different organizations. Everybody's doing their own thing. So I love growing up in a small town, super fortunate to do that. And I think really shaped me into kind of the person I am today.
When did lacrosse become your number one? Because I think most people our age grew up playing lots of sports. These days, I see lots of kids specializing, which I think is mental, but that's an entirely different show. When was lacrosse like, this might be something?
Not even until I got drafted pro. Like I was terrible at lacrosse. Started lacrosse late. Played soccer growing up. Volleyball was probably my best and biggest sport. Really? Played lots of basketball. I was actually playing college volleyball at Douglas College when I got drafted to the Roughnecks. Yeah. And when I say I'm terrible, like I was terrible. I couldn't catch. Nobody told me I needed a pocket in my stick. but I loved the game because of the compete.
Right.
Like I'd go watch these senior Bs, these old guys, and we're playing the North Shore Indians, and they're fighting and they're whacking, and the arena's jacked up. And I was like, man, this this sport is for me. It's one of those ones where you compete, you can be really physical. And
Yeah.
I think probably, like 14, 15, it really took over as my favorite sport to play. I think being a multi-discipline athlete really, really helped me. I try to preach that to all the kids, like every activity you do, whether it's going outside and playing kick the can, riding your bike, like they all transfer. All those skills will transfer to you being an elite athlete. But literally lacrosse wasn't like, when I got drafted to the Roughnecks, I didn't even think I hadn't talked to one team. Ended up getting drafted 14th overall on my dial-up internet. I remember watching and being like, dude, my brother would pick up the phone and be swearing, and it was just a gong show. But then I think when I got to Calgary and saw, hey, maybe I can do this, but relying on my work ethic and compete, like skill level low, intensity work ethic being part of the team high.
Yeah, for sure. And look, this is a hockey market. This is a hockey country. Everyone knows hockey to some level, and many people love hockey. There's a lot of parallels with the game of lacrosse. And I think when you see the compete and it's the same buildings, and there's certainly some nuance, but like, like this is even more physical than hockey, and it is compete. It is, you want to drop your mitts, you can drop your mitts. You can see how and why a lot of great NHLers of like when we were kids watching TV, lacrosse in the summer, hockey, and they were like, yes, those complement each other so nicely.
So many comparables. And now even the girls, like we had a lot of girls that played ringette in hockey, and these parents loved it. Like they were like, this is the sport. These girls can be physical. Like our girls were smashing people.
It's like 11-year-olds,
9, 10. Yeah. And they were like taking to the hitting. Like we actually worked on the hitting. And I had parents come back from last year that I coached that moved up and was like, man, their hockey and ringette game went through the roof. They're confident in close spaces. They're used to getting jostled. They're getting whacked here. So it's one of those things. It's great to see like that being able to transferable, because I mean, hockey is king here. It's everything that people see, but there's still lots of high level hockey players. We had a kid on our team and our junior team's playing in the SJ this year. There's a couple kids that are playing in the OHL that are playing junior lacrosse in Ontario. So the path, I think, is still there. But it's great to see that lacrosse can contribute to the other sports. It's such a great, unique sport, and it's really taken off here in Calgary.
It has. I remember living in the city at the time that you guys made that first championship run, and it was just, there was so much momentum, and it was Bannister was the owner at that time before CSEC owned the Roughnecks. And it was like, it started out as this boutique thing, and then next thing you know, it's like over 10,000 a game, and you sell out the Saddle Dome for a championship game, and like, those environments are raucous. And there's the St. Patrick's Day game, and I give the Roughnecks a lot of credit. They have a great marketing schedule, and people know exactly what they're getting into when they go to the Roughnecks games. We're having beers, we're yelling. If you're a kid, you're doing t-shirt helicopters. Like the entertainment product is through the roof. And I want to get to the state of the league in a bit, but let's rewind. You're in Ladner, you get drafted by Calgary. There's also a massive inflection point in your life that probably made Calgary a really important chapter in your life.
Yeah, I think it actually, I was talking to my parents last week up in Osoyoos. It helped both of us in a way, with my brother passing away. Big story in Vancouver, his best friend driving, 4 other kids in the car. Everyone, all of them passed away except the driver. So we relate to small town. Like, it was so good to be in a small town initially, with everybody being so supportive and the camaraderie, and just like really got me through the first little. But then it almost turns into like, people are feeling sorry for you, and it continued. You'd see the person in the grocery store and you could see the pain in their eyes, not wanting to make you upset, not wanting to ruffle any feathers, which is, it's unbelievable, the human aspect of that. But I knew I needed to get out of there. I knew, like, for me, being able to distance myself from the situation, I think my parents as well gave me a little freedom, gave me a little reprieve, and just like consistently being in the mindset of, hey, you're caught in this tragedy and you're caught in this rut. And it couldn't have came at a better time. I mean, I think I went out there, the accident happened in May. I had gotten drafted before, and then I headed out there, I think November. So it was a great time, and it let me really reset who I was as a person. It got me to meet new people. It allowed me to focus on a new chapter, which let me grow, and I think ultimately get over it a little bit quicker. I know it was hard for my parents, and, talking to them now when they say, man, after an incident like that, letting your kid go and having like nobody in that situation. But that's why my parents were great parents. They knew this was the path for me. And I think it gave them a lot of joy and excitement to see me excel at a high level and be able to do something that I was passionate and excited about. And it really helped my game. I mean, it's helped my life. I do not take anything for granted now. I've had other big tragedies in my life. My best friend passed away 4 years now, pancreatic cancer, 36, firefighter, the first captain of Ladner. But these things, it sounds like callous, but they've really shaped who I am. They've really allowed me to not worry about the small stuff, to enjoy life, to treasure my friends and my kids, to find a balance. So negative to a positive for sure.
Yeah. Formative, and like to take, you just grow. You're forced to deal with some heavy shit. So you come to Calgary and it's turn the page, new chapter, fresh start. And you're like, okay, you still don't think you're a good lacrosse player, but you know, you can, if it's a loose ball, you can probably beat a guy you might want it more than him. And a year after being drafted, you make your debut. What's it like? Who's there? Cause there's some stars on that team. Like I'm thinking like Koleski and Toth, like Hall of Fame caliber lacrosse players. How do you sort of carve out a role and then move far enough along that you're the captain to lead this group of incredible players?
Well, I think I learned a lot those first years. I mean, Chris Hall, my first coach, was the first lacrosse coach that I ever had that even played lacrosse. So like, think about that for a second. I didn't have one player that coached me. They were all dads, just volunteer dads who did a great job. But it kind of opened my eyes to see like, this is the level of professionalism. This is where it can take me. Seeing Tracy and Caleb, who were leaders, who I have so much respect for now, how they played the game by doing the little things. Like, it's like a Jerome again. Like when you see your captain being the hardest worker, willing to stay long and practice, it's 11:30, everyone's flying in and they're giving her, like, to me, that is like leadership. You have to get up to that page. And I really didn't want to let them down. That was a big thing. Like, these people are trusting in me. They've seen something in me that I didn't even think I had in me. Like, it is my turn to repay the favor. And when you have guys and leaders that are doing everything proper, man, you got to get up to par. And I always took a lot of pride in being like, I'm going to work just as hard, and it's contagious. And that's why we had such good teams, is when everybody's going and everybody's chomping at the bit. It's like life. When you surround yourself with bright people and motivated people and people that want to make a difference, it's contagious. Like, being around slubs and schmucks is like a no-go. Like, it really, I think it's important for people to know, like,
today,
well, you got the good balance. Like, it is about balance, but man, I really wanted to show those guys that I belonged. And I think things that I learned about, you can control your work ethic. You can control your effort. You don't have to be as much skilled. And that really resonated with me. It's like, okay, I'm not the most skilled, but I'm going to work extremely hard. I'm going to be a great teammate. I'm going to be part of the solution rather than the problem. And man, that can take you a long way in life and sports.
So describe the type of player you were. And we don't have to be lazy, but I do think the hockey comparison would be one. Like, stay-at-home defenseman, fair to say, or like physical D-man? Like, how would you describe, it doesn't have to be hockey terms, but like you say, you're not the skill guy. You're not filling it. You're not setting scoring records like some of the other guys we mentioned were.
Well, I wish I had to learn more to score, because I'd literally get 4 or 5 breakaways a game and I couldn't score. Like, people, Jason Wolder, a Canadian, like he's from Calgary. He would literally yell, pull it out, when I was on a clear-cut breakaway. And it was like a running joke. And I was like, these motherfuckers. But I didn't really like hone my game on that. So I did have some speed. I scored a few goals, but later on in my career, definitely more stay at home, physical, show up every night. I think the best compliment I ever got was like, hey, when we play you, we know we're playing you. Like, we know you were in a game. So it's like getting on the score sheet in a certain sense of like just competing, like trying your best to be at a high level and saying we're here to win. And I think as you get older, trying to be a mentor to some of the younger kids, trying to really lead by example on and off the floor, in terms of how Tracy Koleski would all have the young guys over for team dinners, and he'd employ some of the guys. And I really took heart in that, in trying to do the same. And I think keep that group together, because I took a lot of pride in what we were able to accomplish. And I think it's not dying with the new generation of players, but teams are going a lot from the team aspect to more individual coaching. Like, yes, you have your philosophy. Yes, you have, this is going to be the goals and the culture of our team. But now it's more like you need to individually coach each person to get them where our team was our team. Like, we went out together, we partied together, we ate together, we liked the same things, we played card on the bus. And man, when the snowball gets going down the mountain and you guys are a group together, it's a powerful feeling. And something I miss about replicating that when you got guys pulling on the same rope. But fortunate to have so many great leaders that played the game the right way and really showed what it takes to be a professional athlete.
Okay, I want to ask you about some of these guys because so you mentioned Koleski and bringing people in under this wing, taking care of the young guys. Prolific scorer. I think Toth is here before him. This is right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But they added him to that team that already had Toth. And so you might have two of the best scorers in the game at that point. What was Toth like? Because he was kind of a rock star at that time.
Man, he's the mayor of Calgary. Like he left. I still to this day, when people talk about it and they say, oh, he played for the Roughnecks, they're like, oh, do you know Caleb Toth? Like he was an amazing hockey player, an amazing lacrosse player, really contributed multiple levels. That's what I loved. Like he drank the most beers at the bar.
Yes.
He'd score the most goals. He'd chirp the biggest guys. He would answer the bell. Like he'd be accountable on all fronts of life, which I loved and respected. Like I was like, man, I can't do all these things. Like I can do one or two, but he seemed to just have this aura about him where he was like the man at multiple different levels, which to me, it was like, man, this guy's cool. Like I always thought like this guy, if I could be half of what he's going to be, I think I'm in a good shape. So that's what I loved about Kay.
How much overlap did you have with the Snyder brothers?
Snides, me and Jeff and Bob are still really good friends. I talk to Snides weekly.
Because they're brothers, but they're very different. They're wired so differently. Like, I don't know them very well. I know them both a bit. And I'm like, these guys are brothers? Like totally different.
Completely different. Jeff is still very intense. I mean, he's calmed down in his old age, savvy businessman.
Yes.
Compete at the highest level. Like that's what I love him. And he rubbed people the wrong way and potentially still does, but his attitude is excellence at all time.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's getting lost a little bit. Like everybody gets a medal and everybody is like, way to go, Johnny. It's like, well, no, Johnny, you suck. And this is the level and I'm going to help you get there. Do you know what I mean? It's not just like you suck. It's like, well, what are the core pillars to being great? How are we going to implement this on a daily level? And let's do it. And I'm not going to settle for second fiddle. So I love that. I think it helped me playing with him. I love how he still does it to this day, where Bobby is a fantastic teacher. He's boots on the ground, a little more relaxed, super chill, but they both have done so much for lacrosse in Alberta and Calgary. And it's the impact they have on generations of kids now with putting kids to university, with continuing to have impacts in the grassroots level is amazing. And I think when you look back on their impact and career here in Calgary, it's going to be like, whoa, like this is significant.
Well, I mean, I remember when the Roughnecks were getting started and it's like, you got to go and visit the elementary schools and all that. And that's just good PR from the team. And the more you can expose people to the sport, those are going to be your future fans. But to the next level, like the thousands of kids that have been through their Elevate program. And I know you have, obviously it's different, but that's a huge impact on the sport in this city. Like you could almost do a pre-post with their impact and see a totally different level of play.
Well, for sure. And now you see all these kids that have been through Elevate, even our junior program that are giving back in coaching.
Yeah.
Like that to me about coaching is maybe the proudest thing. Like the amount of kids that are coaching younger teams and are fired up about giving back. And that's one thing in Alberta. We are generations behind BC and Ontario. We never had players that played at a high level that have kids.
Right.
And now we have that. Like we have caught up to that. And the commitment that these kids are giving back because they love lacrosse and they fell in love and they've been taught the right way and they're passionate about that. And I mean, it all coincides. The Roughnecks being here is a huge part. Elevate their junior experience. But it really is like when you reflect from a bigger picture, looking back, it brings a lot of pride to me to see kids giving back, and hopefully you have some part of that. And it's awesome to see.
You never need a lawyer until you need a lawyer. And then you need McLeod Law. They are the Calgary law firm. Calgarians, people that understand how our city works. So no matter what your legal needs are, it's simple. McLeod-law.com or hit socials at McLeod Law LLP. Peter Klein, you know him as the personal injury guy. Well, he's also your long-term disability insurance claim guy. Make sure you check in with him if you've got an issue collecting for the benefits you've paid for. Shane King, a partner in the Litigation and Dispute Resolution Group. Employee rights, if you've been terminated, make sure you're being treated as the law requires. Shane, always using practical and easy language, no legal mumbo jumbo. It's the Calgary law firm, and the only one you need to know whenever you need a lawyer, it's McLeod Law. Well, it's summer, and that means it's air conditioner season. Yes, we don't need that in the winter, but it does get hot here in Calgary in the summer. And here's the deal from our good friends at Crystal Waters right now. 10% off a brand new air conditioner and a year of free preventive maintenance. Crystal Waters is your crystal clear choice for all things residential plumbing, heating, cooling services. We're talking 23 years of experience and over 30,000 projects completed. It's your clear choice for sure. Here's how you get a hold of them. 403-219-4100. Head to their website, crystalclearcalgary.com. Crystal Waters Plumbing and Heating is your crystal clear choice for home comfort. Super proud to have partnered with Origin Brewing, who make our two delicious beers. Barnburner Blonde, great in the summer, crushable beer, favorite for everyone, crowd pleaser to be sure. And if you like something a little hoppier, how about the Afterburner Pale Ale? They've also got their summer drinks going, that hard iced tea, hard seltzers. They've got the Gosas, famous beers they've been making for a long time, homegrown lager. They've got the Rockyford Raspberry, all kinds of incredible beers. Check it all out at originbrewing.ca, and you can stop in at their two locations, 60 Spruce Park Drive in Strathmore, and their new location in Calgary, the OC. Origin Calgary. You can find it at 943 28th Street Northeast. They've also opened O-Dogs, a new menu there for you to get your hot dog on. Chili, poutine, however you like your dog, they got it at O-Dogs. Check out Origin at your local liquor store or the Strathmore and Calgary locations. And we're back with more Barn Burner. Tell me about the first championship. Like full Saddle Dome.
Awesome.
That's nuts.
Awesome.
For the NLL at that time, it's like, this is the pinnacle.
I remember like we weren't a very good team. We had like an old team, a young team. We were just kind of a mishmash, but we competed hard, got on a little bit of a heater in the playoffs. And I remember coming out like the final game, and there was more fans in first warm up. So we're talking like an hour and a half before the game than we had all season. And it was like electric factory, like goosebumps, hair standing up. Brad bought his buddy that's a stunt guy. They had a buffalo on the turf because we were playing buffalo, and he's like riding the buffalo. And I was like, this is a showcase. And so I think that game was like, and I didn't even really feel pressure. Like the more championships and older on, I felt more pressure, but that game was like, this is so cool. I don't care what happens. We're going to go out and put our best foot forward. There's a buffalo running around. People all had the thunder sticks, like never in my wildest dreams to be able to compete in a sports atmosphere like that. And it was a special day. I still even thinking about it, get super excited. And it really kind of set that franchise off to the success of what we were. And, you know, that was my second year. So you're second or third year. So you're like, man, winning's easy. Like this is
happening every year.
I mean, we are the best. We're the cat's meow here. And then it's like, oh no, this is actually super hard to get back to this level and to be pulling on the same rope. So what an experience. So cool. Remember it. Scored in that game, which I like didn't score all year. Like, I remember that. And just a party after. I think that was the best part.
You win. Obviously, the boys floor it in the room. You're at home.
Yeah.
Like to win a championship is incredibly fortunate. To do it, it could have been on the road. What was the Calgary like that night?
Darts in the room. And you know what? That's when, and I don't smoke darts, but where the Belmonts were going. Yeah. Like it was great. And I think it really helped that the Flames were in the playoff push.
Yeah.
Like that the Red Mouse was rocking. So people were like hungry for sports. A lot of people like couldn't get into Flames game. So we went to the Roadhouse, had the cup out, went on about a 5-day bender, had to go back to BC and go my last year junior. So that was like, it was a tough, because everyone's like, you suck and you won. Like people were jealous. So I ended up like fighting a lot. Like it wasn't a great summer after that, but riding high from being like a celebrity in Calgary and skipping the line, like that got us free Roadhouse for the rest of my life. Like skip the line and skip the line at Cowboys. So
your money's not good here. Sir.
Yeah, no, it was like a taste of being a big wheel when we had no business being big wheels. It was pretty fun.
You won again in what, 09?
09,
so 5 years later, which it sounds, 04, 09. You're like, that's a half decade.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Super long time. And that year, you know what? We were a wagon. We were a wagon for a few years. We have a record that'll never be broken. It was close this year. We were up 15-0 in the Western Conference Finals.
Whoa.
Matt King, the goalie, I remember this. I don't know why. It's one of those life memories. We're up 5-0. He scored, picked up the ball, threw it in the net. Buzzer expired. I'm like, this is over. Yeah. I remember telling Devin Ray, like, we're going. And we were a wagon. Like they didn't score till 45 minutes into the game.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think we won 19-5 was the final. But one of those things where like we were destined to win. And you know what, that with that team, the more we won, the like drunker we got. And it was like the old school. And I'm not talking like 2 or 3 guys. I'm talking like our thing that was years we'd peel each other's shirts. So every game we'd go to the bar, and if people weren't looking, I'd run up to you like this and I'd rip your whole entire dress shirt right off. And like, that was our mantra though. Like people now it's like, don't drink. We're going to be professional. But like the energy and swagger we had. And it was just like, this is inevitable. Like this is going to be a domination. And
you were the Panthers.
Yeah.
We were swagger.
We were swaggering around and I wasn't even worried about the final. A little close game, but there was never a doubt and a belief, and probably the team for that year and the next year where the confidence was just high. And when you have confidence as an athlete, like you see it in pro sports, there's no rhyme, there's no reason, but confidence to no confidence is like, if you could bottle that drug, it would be the number one drug on the street.
Yeah.
Because it's an amazing thing to be able to do.
Incredible. 13 years, 5 as a captain, 2 championships, couple all-stars in there. I think you still hold some franchise records for loose balls or things like that I don't really understand as much as I love lacrosse. But what are you like? Damn, that's what I'm most proud of.
I think growing the game, like getting back to the whole coaching and seeing people play and running into fans in the stands that bring their kids that have been season ticket holders for, 13, 14 years. Even going to the games this year, I'd go and people would come up to me like ushers that I've met from there. And my kids are like, how do you know this person? And I think the lasting impact, not really personal accolades. I mean, that's great. And you want to be good, but the impact in the community and what you can do to motivate and inspire kids to play lacrosse is really special. And I think the older you get, you realize, even coaching my kids and coaching these teams, it really is something special. Like people have busy lives, they have jobs, they have so many more commitments but to be able to spend my time doing that is something I'm really, really proud of. To see, at the 16, 17,000 at Roughnecks game, 18,000 at the St. Patty's game, it's spectacular and special to see. And I'll always have pride in what I was able to do to grow the game.
Where's Calgary in the hierarchy of the NLL? Because it at times has been the peak. It's obviously under Flames ownership now, which gives it a lot of financial stability, a lot of marketing power behind it. But the league's also gone to some really unique and sexy places. Like you're talking about Vegas, you're talking like San Diego, like Calgary is probably one of the nice cities to live in the league. And all of a sudden it's like, San Diego's pretty good too. And Vegas, I've heard, it's a nice place.
Calgary's still top 3 in the. It's really, I mean, with the crowds, the way the Roughnecks have come in and, Calgary sports and entertainment over, man, people are hungry for sports here. And I think you're seeing it with the Surge and the women's soccer team and Calgary FC. Like it is a sports town. You just need to get people the options to go do it. And I think to your point of the Roughnecks, like going to the games, nobody knows what's going on. Like literally in the stands, you're watching these people and it's like, and they're just drinking and the music's playing and the goal. And then all of a sudden they're doing the dance. And I mean, that's what sports is about. It's about entertainment, bringing people together to cheer for like a common team, being proud about your city. So in terms of attendance, in terms of how it's run, it's a top tier franchise right now in the NLL.
You've been, I believe, 6 seasons with the Mammoth. You were assistant coach around the defense for a while, and now you're 2 years under your belt as AGM, if I'm correct. This would be number 3. You got a draft coming up, is that right?
Draft coming up September.
Tell me about coaching and versus the move into management. And I guess you probably can't talk about that without talking about the Raiders here in Calgary, where you're kind of doing both. You got both hats. Yeah.
I mean, coaching in the NLL was always a dream of mine. I was so fortunate to do. Definitely on my radar when I was, with the Raiders to get to that spot. Dream come true. Awesome staff in Colorado. Fortunate enough to win a championship as the coach my second year. Went to the finals the next year, which was amazing. But for me, it's the balance of life. Like you go back to the conversation with my brother. Those years I was on the roads 30 weekends. I had young kids. My wife has a very stressful, busy job. And so it's like, what's the balance? How can I keep myself in this? I love coaching. I definitely want to get back onto an NLL bench at some point because coaching and management are very, very different. And it was hard to make that transition in a sense of you can't be day to day, you can't be working. And I love teaching. I think that's what I like about coaching. It's like, okay, player comes to me, I'm not good at this. How are we going to fix it? How am I going to create drills? How are we going to watch film? How can I really, on a boots on the ground, change the performance? Where management is a much more broader picture of, okay, we've got a schedule, we got a CBA, we got contracts coming up, we got a draft. What's the 1, 3, 5, 10-year plan? But at the same point, that's fun to do. And I think it's really, really helped me being on all sides, like being a player as a captain, then being on a bench as a coach, and now coming into management. I feel I'm pretty well versed in all avenues, and being able to blend all that information together is super cool. And I mean, the Mammoth have been so good to me. I pretty much get to pick my schedule.
Yeah.
I could go to every game. I could go to no games. So like I miss the Rochester, I miss the Philly. I go to Vegas, I go to San Diego,
Really?
come here, Saskatchewan. I got to go because it's close. But it's really great. And I was able to go on the bench a couple times this year doing the iPad for film.
Yeah.
Like that's a new big thing in the NLL and so, man, to be able to keep my feet wet, to be able to have the relationship with these players, the boys love me. Like I bring something to the organization that like, like, yeah. And my new line to them is like, cause they still treat me like a coach. And I'm like, fellas, I'm upper management now. You're like, put some respect on this. We're not going to be,
and the manager here. Watch your mouth.
That's upper. We're up the tiers, but they take it as a pretty fun thing. And I'm really fortunate to keep my mouth. And it's made me a better coach at all levels. I think it's made me a better manager. Even like things like fantasy football, like that sounds so stupid. But it's true. But it's true. Like, and people are like, this guy's an idiot. But I am telling you, the waiver wire and planning and understanding like different scenarios. And I think, I'm lucky to be able to do that. I'm lucky with the Raiders. Like the Raiders is my baby in a sense now.
Pause there. Tell us about the Raiders. So this is junior lacrosse in Western Canada. This is not NLL, but it's nice because the NLL off season is the summer, and that's when the Raiders play.
So good. So this will be my 16th year with the Raiders. Started as an assistant coach, head coach for many years. Too much time. My wife was ready to say, you're done if you're going to keep going to Max Bell 6 nights a week.
Right.
So went to the GM role and super fortunate to, the Fair family owns it, who Jesse played for the team. And now he's the assistant GM and he does lots with the team. And Mitch Bannister, who's our head coach, I coached him as the head coach. His dad is Brad Bannister. We drafted both his brothers. Like the whole family unity of sports is a unique circle. So we have collegiate athletes or kids just going into college. So all our team now is here for the summer. Yeah. They'll all go down to Div 1, 2, or 3 NCAA, play in their schools all over North America, come back for the summer and play. And this is the age after this. Kids get drafted after they go to NCAA. Yeah. So fun to be a part of. So fun to coach because you got 16 to 21-year-olds.
It's a big gap.
Big gap. Impressionable gap. Really can work with these kids and really try to get them, learning and stuff. And that's a huge area in life. It's like, and they're drinking beers for the first time. They're going to school. They have girlfriends. Like that age is a very impressionable age. And to be able to have the control I have, like in the Raiders, is something sweet. Like there's no board. There's no, like, we don't have to go through any checks and balances. It's me and the 5 guys.
Here's what we want to do. Here's what's right.
This is what we're doing. And we've learned a lot dealing with parents, dealing with kids, but to have that ultimate control, like I will never be in a situation like this again. Right, yeah. And this, we've set it up, knock on wood, my good GM skills, where we're in a really good window here that this will be the best chance to win a Minto Cup. So Alberta's never won a Minto Cup
ever
in the history. Yep. So us, BC, and Ontario are the 3 teams. We have Saskatchewan in our league. So it's something like, it is my number 1 sports goal. Okay. It is the number 1 thing I want to do. And if I can't do this in the next 2 years, I'm done. I will be devastated. It'll be a 19-year run, but you know what? If I can't get it done in 19 years, time to go move on to something else. But my most passionate thing and something I'm putting a lot of time and effort to, and I love to have the ability to do everything.
Okay, so you're in playoffs now. This is the Rocky Mountain Jr A Lacrosse League, Alberta winner, and we'll move on and then face those powerhouses that you get in Ontario and BC. Where's the Minto Cup this year? And there's rumors that it may indeed be coming to Calgary down the line, which would be huge for the sport and for obviously an organization that you seem to have shaping towards that.
Yeah. So this year in St. Kitts, it rotates every year. So
where's St. Kitts?
St. Catharines, Ontario. Okay, so kind of right by like Niagara Falls, kind of in that area. Yeah. Right in there. So it's going to be great. They've coincided with Canada Games, beautiful new arena, beautiful facility. So really good. And I mean, some people know we can do breaking news here on the old podcast. We're going to be hosting the Minto next year at Max Bell.
Wow.
Which
summer 26.
Yeah, we're fired up. I mean, building on what the Canucks had here with their run, they got a screen in there, a lot of great things that we've learned about. This will be our 3rd Minto Cup that we've hosted. Yeah. So we're pretty, we're running the committee with 6 people, like the same 6 people that are doing it. We can get this thing pretty cookie cutter. I've been to 6 Minto Cups. We know the formula it takes to make a great tournament, but the ability to next year have automatic bid with the team we have. We graduate 1 player this year.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. We're in a great spot. And being able to get there last year and fingers crossed this year, we will have the experience. We're going to be hungry. And these kids are working hard. Like the biggest compliment I can give these kids and our coaches is like, they want to be elite.
Yeah.
They understand, they've gotten a taste of what the good teams do. And it's like, fellas, there's no secrets here. Like we have to work harder than everybody else. We have to practice tonight when we practice at 8:00 on a dreary Thursday. You might want to go to the Stampede. This is it. We are focused, and these guys are banging. They're working hard, and it's really invigorated me. It's a great thing to see kids like not just mail it in. We actually lost our last game of the regular season, which was so good for us. We'd beaten the other team like 15 years, and it wasn't like good in the 15 times. It wasn't good in sense of like we wanted to lose, but to see how mad these kids were and to see the focus when they came back to practice was like goosebump city. And that's what it's about. And even if we don't achieve our ultimate goal, the way these kids and our coaches are preparing is how you need to live life. And I said to them, I said, fellas, these lessons you're going to learn. And even if we don't win, that's not going to take away from what you're doing to try and be an elite champion and to win and make history. So really proud of the group of what they've done so far.
Whether you're in med school or you're a trader or you want to start your own business or you're a firefighter, like these lessons that sport give young people are so incredible and so crucial. Like it's just, if you know how to work hard and you're a winner, like I don't care what you pick, you're going to be great.
Yeah. And even adversity, I find even having young kids now, like, man, and I'm pretty relaxed as a parent. Like I want my kids, like they're young and I let them do a lot of things, but they don't face adversity. Like every parent wants to give their kids the best opportunity. And of course that's human nature, but it's like, are we setting these kids up when they have to put their resume in and go for a job with 50 other people? Like what is going to make your kid or your life experiences stand out in the real world? And now like less adversity, less drama, more cushy, more ease of access with everything. Like it's like instant gratification and ease of things. So finding that balance, I think it's been great to see these lessons in sports translate to being a parent, but it is that hard line. And I think if you have that attribute as a kid and you learn those skills, like you're gonna jump the pile here pretty quick in whatever you do.
How's the state of the league with all this expansion? Like like you came into a league that probably feels mom and pop shop compared to what it feels like now. Is that fair?
Yeah. And I think it's good. The top 5 teams, NHL owners are the key. Yeah. Like that is the absolute.
You got the venues and now you got the deep pockets.
It has to be there. It has to be with the building owned. You get the concession rights. These one-off teams, like they can make it and they have owners that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. But this isn't like you're bleeding money for a long time until you can get it to the Buffaloes, the Colorados, and the Calgarys. Like those 3 teams are the pinnacle of the league. Yeah. The rest are still like San Diego's putting, 3,000-4,000 people in the building and Roch is putting 4,000. Well, alone in Rochester, like the insurance for their team is like $600,000. And so then you're adding like a $500,000 payroll and a $400,000 travel budget. And you're putting 4,000 people for 9 games at $25 a ticket. Like it's not really I'm no math major, but it's not adding up. But the level of skill, the NCAA in the States, the amount of people playing box lacrosse in the States now, it's an all-time high for skill level. It's an all-time high for ability to play lacrosse at a younger age. So it's on that brink of needing a few more, I think, big NHL owners, but man, the product's great. When you get it going and down when it gets over that hump, it can be spectacular. Yeah.
Edmonton had a good thing going, and then that all of a sudden moved. You'd love to get back in there. I know Vancouver's been interesting because I think they've been playing out of Langley at times and moving around. Like, what's the right fit there? Get back in the big building.
So they are the big building.
Aquilini.
Yeah, the Canucks bought him 2 years ago.
Okay, good.
They've went from 6,000 fans to this year putting 11,000 in playoffs. Awesome. Yeah. Copied the exact same model in Calgary. Yeah. $5 beers, cheap food, party zone, crank the music, and if they have success there, they will turn into a Calgary within 5 years. People want entertainment, winner, goals. So that's a really positive in the rest of the league. I think that's another market that's going to see really jump up. And, I think that's the key. I think Edmonton's in the mix to really potentially getting a team in the next couple of years. I think that would be a great fit, but I think there's places like Nashville. I think there's places like even potentially Montreal and Winnipeg, where you can go into these markets. Detroit has a lot of interest. You can go into these markets and piggyback that. If you can give it 5-6 years and say, okay, we can bleed $4 million for a few years, you got the potential to put it to a really spectacular place.
Outdoor.Dental is dentistry with no drills, no needles, and no stress. Yeah, it's one of the most cutting edge dentistry places around. But on top of that, they have the Soleil laser, which helps with dentistry, but also a snoring treatment. 2 pain-free 15-minute sessions, and you can tighten the soft palate in the back of your throat, which leads to snoring and hopefully reduce your snoring significantly. It's worked for me a ton. I'd recommend you do it as well. And if you've got extended health benefits, might be covered for most of that as well. Sleep better. Get the person next to you can sleep better. It's a win for everyone. Check in with Dr. J at outdoor.dental for all your dentistry and snoring cure needs.
Village Honda, day one, an OG partner of Barn Burner, and of course, a proud presenter, for whatever reason, of the Pinder Report. Coming up, August 23rd, it is the 5th annual Honda and Acura Show and Shine. They've got awards for Best in Show, Best Modified, Best Classic, People's Choice, Best Off-Make. And while you're there, you can check out the demo clearance. It is on. Save thousands, maybe up to $4,000 on specific demo models. Just give them a visit. They're in the Northwest Auto Mall. They're your dealership for life. It's Village Honda and villagehonda.com.
It's not easy to please everyone, but I know one place that does. That's Greta. Greta Bar in Calgary on 10th Ave is the place to be, whether it's live music, hundreds of arcade games. We're also talking global street food, happy hours, industry days, corporate parties. It's the one-stop shop for all things fun, young or old, 18 plus. You got to go to Greta Bar. For more information and all the good times, head to gretabar.com.
Buddies, you know what Barn Burner is a presentation of Bet365, best gaming partner in the whole wide world. Get that app on your phone. If you haven't got an account yet, set it up. Use the code NATION when you sign up. Be worth your while, and then get in on it. They got game props, player props, totals. What sport do you want? What are you looking for? It's all there. Get in the app, get in the game. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, official partner of Barn Burner.
Let's get back to another summer edition of Barn Burner. It's an interesting league because it is not the full-time high-paying gig for the players. A lot of these guys have Monday to Friday jobs, and then will be flying into the market if they don't live in the market. And so, again, if you have deep pockets as an owner, you can make things happen that's harder for smaller teams. You can fly guys in from further, or you've got a network in the community where you can get a guy a better job in that city with his skill set. Like we look at it and it's like, oh, they play in the same building as the Flames. The salaries aren't close. And like, it's
no,
but the guys literally have full-time jobs and then we'll fly in and play on weekends. That's wild.
So I think the rookie salary this year was $14,000 US. That's still what it is. Like for my rookie salary, I made $5,600. And if you didn't play, you didn't get paid. So I think with my first check with PLPA dues was like $72. And so the great thing about lacrosse now is the top end guys have grown to a place where they're doing full-time gigs.
That's
like
awesome.
You're into the market where you're making a couple $100,000. If you start your own business, like it's a lucrative profession now, which really generates like interest from these kids and saying, hey, if I do this the right way, like there is potential to make a life. However, you're losing, you get these kids that are going to Duke and Virginia and Syracuse. It's like, well, I got a job on Wall Street.
Right.
Or you want me to fly across the country here and get paid like $600 a week. But man, the passion of athletes, like when you get a taste of that, even if there's 200 people, like once you get there, it's like, this is great. I want to do this. The players are super fortunate to have this, but and the older you get, and you'll know this, when you get to fly across and play in front of things, when you have to be a postman or a school teacher or a plumber or a firefighter, like it's an amazing experience and something I think a lot of these players don't take for granted. And you still see the mom and pop shop of it with just like the compete level. Like I really believe it's still like keeps these guys hungry enough. Not saying that when you get to the NHL and you're making millions of dollars, but man, I'd be less motivated on a Tuesday when it's -40 in Calgary to be like, oh boy, this is game, like 43 or with the A, we're hanging the bus. Like I think players in our league really like appreciate the opportunity to do
it's probably better than like working on that well site you were on, or doing a tour of a community as a police officer. Like, this is fun, or being a pro athlete. I'm not taking this for granted. We'll take this $14,000 and we'll try to parlay the opportunity, and we got to hang out with the boys. And I think the older you get, you have kids and a wife at home, you're like, well, I'll take this weekend off here and play with the boys and get in the old team shower and have some pints. And like, it's a good thing to have. So I think it's on the right track. I think maybe in a few more years, getting it where the salaries, are $30,000, $40,000 for everyone, and letting them really train, because I do think that will accelerate the level of play. But now there's so many kids playing, the level of play from even when I played it's not even comparable.
Like I wouldn't make the NLL now. No chance. Zero chance. Even if I competed hard, I'm not. These guys are big, strong, eat healthy. There's no McDoubles with Big Mac sauce like I used to do before junior. Like there's no ephedrine anymore. Like I was like, come on, fellas. Like we got to crank it up a little. It's all plant-based protein powders. We're doing recovery, and it's like, it's great to see, but I've
been talking to my mental coach, and we've been discussing my new pregame meditation strategies. I know my nutritionist is saying this, and my trainer. It's wild. Like kids are dialed at a young age, no matter what these sports are.
Well, I think it's now you see it with the singleization in sports, the professionalism in sports. It's like, man, if you don't behave this way, this is the cookie cutter way, and you're behind. Like, and I think it's hard as a parent. I think that's the big trap now is parents. And I mean, good for sports. They have turned it into a money making.
It's
like,
true.
Like youth sports now is business, and it's big business. And if you do it properly, it's huge. I think the love of the game and the actual, it's sad to see in a sense of like, you're not playing sports now just to have fun and make friends and make lessons. Like it is all about winning, and it is all about playing, which it is sad. I think you can get to that at a later age. But you have to do and perform the way, like even this year, like our team was going through a down spurt. I was like, boys, let's go just get wasted after the game. We're going to fire it up here. And everyone's like, man, we can't do that. Like we got to train. And I was like, this is not how I would perform the thing, but that's how it is. So you got to adapt.
I got a buddy that played really high level hockey over in the K, came back to the NHL later in life, and he'd been gone in Russia for a while and returned and was like back in the NHL. And it's like, all right, boys, like, what are we doing tonight? Where are we going? And they're like, oh, we talked to the concierge and they're going to wheel in like 6 screens and we're all going to play like Call of Duty together. And he's like,
yeah, like
what has happened since I left?
I mean,
you're having a LAN party,
right? When we're in
we
world,
could be a cowboy.
That's right. When we're in world-class cities, eating at world-class restaurants, but it's good. I mean, like, I think it's a big thing though. Look at Florida. Like you can tell that team is Swaggerville.
Yeah.
They like to go the way they just partied after the cup. And some people are like, oh my God. But I was like, well, you want to know why they won't win? Look no further than how they're handling this, because that's all they want to do is to win, to be able to act like this and get a free pass, because there ain't many jobs. And where, especially now in the social media, where like it is celebrated. People are like, these videos are unbelievable. They're following around, and like unbelievable to be able to have that experience at that level. And it's such a different sport though. Like you watch when the NBA, when they won, like they didn't even celebrate this year.
They left like a ton of booze in the locker room. I'm like, what?
They didn't cheer when they won. They like were hugging, they're walking around. I was like, man, that is not what sports is about. Like that to me is business.
Yeah,
and totally, like it's, and to see the hockey players react with so much joy and how they go out, and even the NFL does it. I think of that same thing. That's what sports is all about.
Yeah. I think that maybe I'm crazy. I always feel like the more physical a sport is,
true,
the more that, like, the tighter that bond would be with teammates, because you just literally have to stick up for each other, and it gets closer to war, and thus the celebrations are greater. And I'm not suggesting that it's not challenging to be a basketball player, win championship. Like that's probably more kids play basketball than any other sport but soccer on earth. Like you got to be unbelievable to get there, but the trenches aren't as potentially
you're right
bonding as other sports.
You're right. I mean, the physicality, when you see people sacrifice, when you've been injured yourself and you're like, and this guy has that injury, like the ability to see that in a group setting again, like when you see your teammate hurting and going through that, and you see how it affects your home life or your family life, like even now, like that motivates a team to really pick it up. And of course, everybody's trying to be the ultimate champion, but it's the ability to continue that, and for everybody to do that, it's something special, and it's why you should play sports. Like those lessons are better than any lessons about you have to be a pro. You have to go get a Div 1 scholarship. You need to be this best. You need to be at power skating. And like, it's insane how it is turned into this business of, man, my kid's going to be the best athlete, and the parents are so involved. Like
my kid's going to be in the NHL.
Yeah.
Dude, look at the odds, please.
No, they're not.
Yours is, then no one else in the cities is.
Right. And just enjoy being with a great parent group, enjoy meeting new friends. If your kid's having fun, it doesn't matter if it's C, A, AAA, who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? What is sports about? It's about working hard, learning to deal with adversity, hopefully winning, making great lifelong friends, and being able to play beer league when you're 40. Like, I think the people that are still playing beer league when they're older and skating, like, that is what sports is all about.
Because that's, and I think like lacrosse to be similar to hockey. A big part of the bonding is the room. You got to put the war gear on. You got to get the gear on. You got to peel it all off together, and it's just like that journey and that time together. The further away I get from my youth, the more you're like, the locker room was the most special place, because the playing surfaces, sure, but like that was where it was just the team, and that was the special, unique group you had. And yeah, like, it didn't have to be good. I wasn't particularly good at anything. I like sports, but like, just those are your best friends for life. You've been through all the adversity with them. You know them to their core.
Well, and sports now, learning this on the management side, man, you just need to put people with characteristics. Like, what are your 5 characteristics as an organization? You don't need 10 superstars. You don't need 4 stay-at-home defensemen. You need to match personalities. Yeah. You need to match work ethics. You need to match communication styles. Yeah. Like, all this stuff, you see it at the NHL and these high-level sports. It's like the Canucks, they're fighting. Well, get somebody out of there. Yeah. Stop talking about it and do something.
Don't let it fester for years. You can't let it
that to me.
JT Miller, like Pedersen. Yeah.
That to me is such poor management. It's such poor leadership. It's such like egotistical people instead of putting it beside in the common goal. And it relates back to my individual people now. Like, now people are all wearing iPads, listening to different music. Like, that to me is the microcosm. I hate that. Like, that on my teams is banned. That will never be allowed. You have someone running the music. If you want a song, we listen to it as a group. You going off in your own little world and, I need to stretch this way. Sure, there is times for that, but man, we are a unit. Yeah. We need to be pulling on this rope. And if we don't agree on music, we'll figure it out. Be a fucking leader. Like, let's sit down as a group and come up with a solution so we're all on the same page, instead of just being in your little like pods here. So it is very interesting to see how it's changing. And I think great coaches, like, that's why you're seeing all these old school coaches get booted, or they don't want to do it. You're seeing it in college football a lot now. You're seeing it in college basketball. It's because now, which I truly believe, to be an elite coach, and maybe I'm blowing smoke up my own ass, I feel like I could coach any sport. I feel my skills relating to people, I can learn the X's and O's of. I've never played hockey a day in my life, but if you give me YouTube videos, if I sit down with 10 elite coaches and pick their brains, give me a good assistant, like, I feel confident that I could manage the group to get the best performance out of them.
Yeah, you're the people glue. You make the group. It's culture.
Yeah,
that's and 5-year captain, culture. I love the anecdote earlier where it's like your ability to find a bond with everyone and pull everyone together. So rather than factions, or there's Pedersen and the Swedes and there's JT Miller and the Americans, but like, say no, like, we can all go to church, we can all close down the Trop at 2 a.m.
That's right.
We can all go to the and flip pancakes at the charity breakfast. Like, everything we do, and that's culture.
Yeah.
And especially now when it feels like all athletes are groomed to be independent contractors, that's the special sauce.
For sure. And respect. If they're your teammates, you might be like, this guy's a moron. I can't believe he likes Pokemon, or I can't believe this guy drinks every day. But that's what it's about. It's respecting what they love as a person and saying, hey, how can I learn about it? Tell me more about it. This is what I enjoy. And then you pull each other together. Like, you have to find that common respect and bond and the ability to show someone like, man, this is cool what you're doing. Now, do you have to believe that in your head? There's lots of times I was like, man, this is the stupidest thing I've ever, like, I can't get into this, but I'm going to show an interest.
I'll support you.
I'm going to support you because it's passionate to you. And if we're on the same team, we need to be passionate about the stuff everybody likes. So then we're passionate about winning a championship.
Yeah, totally. I'm just thinking the analogy, like, if everyone's listening to their own headphones,
I hate that.
And somehow you actually won something, you won't even all be singing. You can't even sing a song together in the locker room. No one knows the same words.
They probably don't even know the song. You're the champion.
Everyone's got their own song. Yeah,
I know.
What's the rest of summer look like for you? I know you got Minto Cup playoffs, all that going on until what, August? Do you get some downtime before NLL season? Because that doesn't really ramp up till later in the winter. It's a later start than the hockey season.
We got the draft September 6th here, so we're prepping for that here with the Mammoth. Lots of video, lots of lists, we're sending out lots of scouting reports, lots of questionnaires to people. That's one thing we've learned in the NLL, especially trying to compile the characteristics, because you got to interview these people. You got to know what makes them tick. And you can do that by asking some pretty standardized questioning. You can tweak the question, but when you send out 100 things and seeing like all these answers come back in, you can definitely find a lot of common patterns. We put a lot of time in the off season about being organized, doing no stone unturned. I mean, this year was unlucky. We lost 3 of our best players. One was a firefighter, had to leave because he's on probation. Another one tore his hamstring. Another one blew his Achilles. But we didn't make the playoffs. So we are in full, like, no stone unturned.
Revenge tour.
Here's the plan. Go to work and do that. So we'll be busy with that. Training camp won't start till about November. Fingers crossed the Raiders make the Minto Cup. So that'll go to the end of August. And so kind of everything flowing into each other, get up the lake a little bit, go to Sawyers to see my parents. But I'm fortunate, man. The balance I have, being able to hang out with my kids all summer and go do cool stuff, go to the Chucks tonight, take them to the pools, go for bike rides. Like that to me is, I'm very fortunate to be in that position. And that's what life's about, having a great balance and getting to do all that. So yeah, it's going to be a good rest of the summer.
For a guy that grew up in Lower Mainland in a small town, you are through and through a Calgarian now.
Oh, I love Calgary.
What makes you love this city?
Man, I went back to Ladner 2 weeks ago. I was like, I'm never coming back here. Like, this has nothing that I
You got to
grew
move,
up in.
Mom and Dad. You got to move. I'm done here.
Right, every day I try to tell them, I say, sell the house. It literally every third conversation, when are we selling the house? Won't do it. We'll be dragging their dead corpses out of that house. But Calgary, I think opportunity. I think the people are generally super kind. I think the energy in the city with people being motivated, young people moving to the city, amenities getting better. Like, we live in Killarney, like 5 minutes from here I live. Other than the construction here, the little disaster, what a great community. The schools are great. People all pulling on the same rope. I love the buzz of the city. Winters are a little tough, but I'm trying to embrace it. But everything that you want, it feels like a growing team or a growing franchise and organization, like the vibe and the energy. And I really think the ability to create and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think meeting people in Calgary and learning, it's like, oh, you do that as a job? Well, tell me about it. Oh, you're doing, like, there's so many different factions. Like when we first came here, oil and gas, which is still a big oil and gas, but now all these other people doing all these crazy and unique things, seeing obviously the new arena coming to town, just the buildings coming up, the surge, like it's really trending in the right way. And I think the people here are genuine. Like Vancouver, the people are dicks. Like, they're like, it's like turned into this like bougie, and even Toronto, it's such a huge, massive city.
I feel like it's an easy place to make friends. And
so easy.
When I go to other cities, I'm like, oh geez, like everyone's kind of got a guard up, but I grew up here. This is all I know. Like,
oh, I remember going, like when I was single, going to the bar in Vancouver and being like, hey, how's it going? And like trying to get slapped in the face. Like, these girls look like they're going to kidnap them and throw them in the trunk. Or Calgary, I could go up to anyone at the Stampede and say, how's your day? And they'll literally sit there and talk to you.
What you been up to?
What you been up to? How's it going? Great. Have a great night. And like that, for the humanistic aspect. And for me, like that stuff fills my bucket. Like I like that. And so to have those people be so receptive to that is an amazing thing to see. And now with all these different communities, like you really find a lot of great people. You're meeting cool people through sport. So man, I love Calgary. I never thought in a million. I tried for the first 10 years, back. I will never leave Calgary ever. Yeah. It's great.
Love it. Love you. You're a Calgary icon in sport. And I love to see how much joy it gives you to grow the game you love in the city you love and understand the impact you have on young lives, not to mention just being a very good, pro management and coach guy at the sport that you love. I enjoy hanging out with you. Thank you for coming in. And if you ever get a chance to sit down, have a beer and share some stories with the legend.
Oh yeah.
Take them up on the chance.
The C, I appreciate you getting the C-list celebrity here in during the summer months. That's great, but you can't fake passion. I think that's the one message to people, man, find your passion and you can do it. It's going to be hard. It might take some sacrifice at the start, but I don't take granted for the ability to do stuff that I'm passionate about. And I love it. And meeting people here and being having this platform and doing all the things, it's something special. So I appreciate you having me on. And yeah.
Seahawks going to be good this year? No.
They'll be okay.
They'll be okay.
They'll be okay. Not good. I would have took Geno back. I did. Sam Darnold, like he's not the answer.
I don't know what he is.
He
looked good till it mattered. Then he didn't look
well,
good.
that means he's not the answer.
Yeah,
it's
probably.
Like you're stuck when
it's a weird question if that's the answer.
When you're not stuck in there. And then that's the one unique thing I find about sports is people know they're stuck in no man's land yet they stay stuck in no man's land. Like if you went around to like all the NHL teams and you said lie detector test to the GMs,
are you good?
They would tell you we have no chance to win the Stanley Cup. So get out of there. Like get out of there and do that. But the Seahawks, they'll be okay. 6 games, 7 games.
Biggest threat to win the fantasy league. Dean's won back to back, I believe.
I don't know
how. I don't like that at all. And he always just bitches and moans about his draft position, whether it's first or last or the middle of the first round. First pick goes in, worst draft ever. Eeyore he's looking at a three-peat here. We got to
get that out. I mean, I it's really fallen off the live drafts. Like people now, you want to talk about a team, and I know you try to bring people together, but it's gone from like 10 people we had at the live draft. What was last year? Like 3, I think, of us.
Oh, gross!
It wasn't
like you, me, and Bender, and
that was it. It wasn't great, but he got lucky. But we'll take him out. I think there's going to be a new. I'm due here, Dino. Come on, boomer, brutal.
Thanks for watching, and appreciate you coming in, McBride. Good to see you.
Thanks, buddy.